Hey, how are we? So you know how book YouTubers do everything I've read this year? I thought I would do everything that I made this year. So if you don't know, I'm Rachel, I'm a textile artist. I mainly do freehand machine embroidery like this, but I just love all textile art, all kind of craft, traditional craft. So I like to do a bit of everything in my spare time. So I thought I would do a little rundown of everything that I made this year as textile queen, if I do say so myself. As I was putting this together, I realised I'm actually ticking quite a few little craft boxes. There's a lot of different things in there that I've done, so that's quite satisfying. However, there's weren't as many as I thought they were going to be. Definitely done more in previous years, but I will explain why I've done less this year in a sec. The first thing that I did this year, technically not this year, but I want to include it anyway, is because it was a Christmas present for my brother last year, and I actually knitted him a tie because he wears ties to work now because he's so fancy, not like his self-employed artist sister, he's corporate. So I knitted him a tie. It was knitted from, like, I don't actually know the weight of the yarn because I dyed it like 5 years ago when I was in uni. It was longer than 5 years ago because it was the first year at uni. But it's like a really nice fine wool, and I knitted it in like moss stitch, so it's got a cool texture. Has he ever worn it to work? I don't think he has, but I thought it looked cool. So yeah, that's one of the Christmas presents I did last year. I'm doing loads of Christmas presents this year, but obviously I can't show you them yet because it's not Christmas. So maybe next year I'll do another one of these videos and I'll include them all in, because there's quite a few things I'm making for Christmas this year. So the second thing that I made this year actually wasn't then until Easter weekend, and what it actually was is this bedroom. If you don't know, I moved house 18 months ago. It's a total do-over. Every room needs a total refresh, so this was the time that we tackled this bedroom. When we moved in, it had like textured wood chip wallpaper. The carpet was gross. We ripped the carpet up straight away, and we did actually strip it as soon as we moved in and painted it white as like a placeholder. But I always knew I wanted it to be like this super cozy little room, and you get great light in here on a night, especially like the sunset comes right in here. So I wanted that vibe. So I went for 2 shades of pink, which you can see our wardrobes are in that alcove there. So they're the darker pink, and the rest of the room is this lighter pink. And then behind you, my radiator cover is like a mustard yellow, very similar to this colour, and I've got a chest of drawers the same. So it's very sunset vibes, and we love it. And so that was a really great project for us to do this year. The next thing, and I seem to be doing a lot of this kind of thing because all my friends are having kids, was a little baby blanket. This is a crochet granny square blanket. I actually started making this before I knew the gender of the baby, so all I did was did it in neutrals, and then when I found out it was going to be a boy, I just did a little strip of blue around the edge and then did another strip of the neutrals, and that just really tied it all together. It's like a little touch. And I don't think it looks like it was a last minute addition. I think it just sort of works. You don't want to go crazy like, oh, you're having a boy, everything must be blue. I think it was just nice to have a little touch in there. So yeah, I made that little blanket, which was really nice. So the next thing we did, and we did this sort of over the course of a month and a half-ish over the summer, and it was a big project, a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be. It was another room in the house. So we tackled the living room, which if you've been around for a bit, you'll know that it was actually my temporary office. So the front room of the house downstairs, it's not a massive room, it's a square room, and when we first moved in we put my office in there as like a little placeholder, but we always knew we wanted that to be like a super cozy little living room. So that's what we did, and we built in bookshelves, all like floor to ceiling bookshelves, super nice. Yeah, I've got my little sofa in there and it's super cute. So that took a while, but so pleased with how it turned out because it was the first room that we weren't just painting. Like the bedroom, really all we did was sort of strip it and repaint it, but there we had to build new bookshelves, and we put totally new flooring down, we put wooden floors down. So it's like a total transformation, so that was really satisfying to do. So now that I had a cosy living room to work from, I started to get cracking on something I've had on my list for ages, which is knitting my own socks. Now, if you're a knitter and you've not done socks yet, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm not an expert knitter. I would say I'm an intermediate knitter. I can give most things a go. So I got socks. My partner got me a sock pattern for Christmas last year, and the yarn as well, which is self-striping yarn, which is so satisfying because you can really see the progress you're making. So yes, I gave it a go, and I'm not going to lie, it did take me a couple of attempts to get it right. And I did start doing it. If you're a knitter, you'll understand this language. If you're not a knitter, apologies for the nonsense I'm about to spare out. I started knitting it on DPNs, but then when you get to a certain part, you have to change to a circular anyway. And then I just carried on with the circular, and then I realised actually it looked way neater with the circular needle than it did with the DPNs. So I actually, on the second sock, did the whole thing in circulars, but then you do also still need your DPNs for doing your heel and then doing your toe. But that's fine, I found it way easier to do it that way. But yes, socks, a revelation, not even took me that long. So quick, I'm on to my second pair already, it's going wonderfully. So then, as I said, all my friends having kids, so another baby shower came up, and I thought I'm going to make something kind of cute actually. And I'm going to make a cross stitch, which is kind of a bit traditional, isn't it? But I think it's nice to have like something someone's made. You know, I just feel like it's a 90s thing, 80s and 90s thing where a baby was born and someone would make a cross stitch. It would be so cute and have like Peter Rabbit on or whatever. But so I thought I'll make like a cross stitch, but I'll do like a modern one. So I found this pattern on Etsy by Plastic Little Covers. I've had a few patterns from her before, and she's super good. I adapted it slightly because it was a bit flowery, the original pattern. So I added the little mites in, and I changed a few of the colours to make it a little bit more boyish because this person's also having a boy. And yeah, I was super happy with how it turned out. It was so cute. So yeah, and I think it's not just like babyish because it's just naps and snacks, so it's kind of fun. And that, aside from all my Christmas presents I'm making, is actually the last thing I've made this year. So not loads of things like I say, but really decorating the house and doing all the house jobs has taken over completely. As I film this, we're actually in the middle of doing the kitchen, which as you can imagine is pure chaos. So yeah, it's been hard to find the time, but before I round off this video, let me give a special mention to this. Ta-da! This is like, it's quite embarrassing actually because I've bought this kit in 2015. It's coming up to nearly 10 years that I've had this kit. And it's gonna be a cushion when I've finished it. But because it's such a long project, I just keep picking it up and putting it down. Like, it's not one of those things you can start and finish in a week. So my little brain just gets fed up with it. So, but yes, throughout the year, I have been dipping into that. It will get there. Next year is going to be its year, I'm sure. So yeah, that's it for my little crafty roundup. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back later in the month with a reading roundup. Everything I read this year, a lot of art books and a lot of fiction as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.